Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Running a little late today, had some technical difficulties, but hey, that's life. Joined by Jake McLovin. How's it going, Jake?
Hey, everything is going well. Lots of things to talk about for sure in sports, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And hey, again, I want to thank everybody. Gonzo, I appreciate you, brother, man. Thank you for making the show last night, man. You know, Unscripted had their 2-year anniversary, and it's always good, man, when you start something out 2 years ago. And it's amazing, you know, Gonzo, you've been in the podcasting business, you know, for a little while now. Matter of fact, you know, Gonzo just got recognized by, was it the International, or I know there was a wrestling out there in Indiana, a company out there that recognized you in your show, right?
Hoosier Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, so Hoosier Wrestling Alliance. And yeah, they awarded Gonzo's, was it under Gonzo Wrestling Room? Is that what it's under?
Gonzo Sports Room.
Okay, so Gonzo Sports Room was recognized as one of the best podcasts out there in Indiana by Hoosier Sports Room. So, man, you know, hey, look, man, you know, you obviously have been, successful at the podcasting industry. And I know in your time, not only in the wrestling side of life, but in the sports, ASAP, and the umbrella of all that encompasses, you know, you met a lot of people along the way. And it's just really cool that when you started out 2 years ago with 3 guys, me, Logan, and Shaw, and then here we are now in this plethora of friends that we made along the way, man. You know, that's the fun thing about podcasting, man, is you meet a lot of really cool people, and they come into your family, and you take them in as your family, and then it's awesome, man. I mean, and I'm loving life, man. I'm loving life, and you guys are a part of it.
Yeah, it's been cool. Met a lot of people just through, like you said, through the podcasting, just from doing different shows and everything. We actually have we're doing 2 wrestling shows this weekend. We have one Saturday and then one on Sunday as well. So we'll be doing a little traveling this weekend. But it'll be fun. Two shows that we one show we haven't been to a while, and the other one we go to every month. But so it should be a good time. And then we got one, or actually that's it for this month, because the one next Saturday got canceled. So yeah, that's it for this month. And then December we're going to our first out of state show. So that's going to be a good time.
Where are you guys heading to, if you don't mind me asking?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Lovely town of Cincinnati.
I
don't remember, but back in the day, there was a show called WKRP in Cincinnati. Man, I used to watch that show religiously. Such a beautiful woman that secretary was. I can't remember her name right offhand, but gosh, she's beautiful. But it was a great show, man. I always identify with her. I don't know if you ever watched WKRP in Cincinnati. If you've never seen the show, go watch it. I mean, it's old school, so you probably got to find it on YouTube. But there's a character on the show. He's a sales guy. He's the one that gets all the endorsements, whatever it is for the show, right? All the advertisements, ads, whatever. And his name is Herb. And I always kind of identify with Herb's personality, not the way he dressed, because he dressed like shit, but he had a great personality. So hey man, watch that show. You definitely will laugh your ass off.
He said he dressed like shit.
He did, man. Everything he wore was plaid. Jay don't do plaid. Jay does not. Let me say it again. Jay does not do plaid. I don't have the bone structure.
I saw where Virginia canceled their game this weekend, which we were kind of talking about that last night that they probably would. You think they're going?
Yes.
You think they'll
Yeah.
cancel next week's game as well, or you think they'll try to play?
You
Try to
know,
play it?
again, man, it's an emotional time for
It's a
that
cla-
university.
it's
It's
a
an emotional time for that
crazy line.
university. I don't know how many games they're going to actually go. I think, in my opinion, and I don't want to be. I hope I'm not being insensitive, but I think one game, in recognition of the people that were lost and what they did and what they meant to the university is enough. I think they need to pick. And the reason why I say that is you don't want to give the shooter that caused this pain too much thinking that he took something away. You want to take a day off or take a game off, cancel a game, show your respect to the families and what they meant to the university. But I think as a healing process, you need to get back on that second game and show the world that, hey, even though this guy did this tragedy, as a student body and as a people, we're going to push on at University of Virginia because we are a strong embodied people, and we're going to be all right. And I think it just shows that you can get back on the horse, and that this guy didn't ruin you. He didn't take it away. He caused pain, but the student body can still resurrect itself, and show the strength and solidarity as a school.
Yeah, my dad said Lonnie Anderson was her name.
Yeah, Lonnie Anderson. God, what a beautiful woman Lonnie Anderson was.
He said he dressed like Pee Wee Herman.
He did, man. And I'm telling you, Gonzo, when you go watch the show, you're gonna be like, damn. Now I see what Jay meant. But when you see his personality, you'd be like, you know what? I can see that. Or even Johnny. There was a DJ named Johnny. And if you know about the guy Johnny always went into the booth. And as he's playing the records and he's commentating, he got a bottle of whiskey off to the side, and he'd be hitting that sauce while he's going out. So I don't know, man. I think I'm half Johnny and I'm half her, and they just blended themselves together. Yeah, that's the way to look at it.
No, with Virginia, I can see canceling this game just because you got so much emotion going on. But I don't see them canceling next week for like what you say. You don't want to give that guy too much power, but also it next weekend's their last scheduled game for this season.
Right. You want to end it on somewhat of a positive momentum, not only for the school, but for the next school year. And again, you got to take a game off. You have to take a game off and come together as a school. I'm sure they're going to hold, and instead of a game, they'll probably hold vigils, or they'll do whatever they need to do to not only represent the lives that were lost, but also come together as a school and start the healing process from
it. And you could use next week's game as a celebration. As a celebration to the guys that were
lost. You got
to
imagine if you're the University of Virginia that they're going to do something in the way of the parents and the people that were left behind to honor them as well. So I would not be surprised if they brought them there, gave them special seats, probably had a moment of silence. The typical things that you would do on an occasion like that. So. Yeah, man. I think you got to get back in the saddle. You got to, take your time off, grieve, heal, do the visuals, things of that nature, and then come back last game of the season, honor the people left behind from it, and then play the game in dedication to them. And all of this, the game that they do play is a healing moment, not only for the school, but I think for the families as well.
Yeah, and one thing I do like is that before they just canceled the game, they actually talked to some of the players and got their opinion and stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I thought that was good. Instead of just canceling it, hey, talk to everybody, see what everybody's thoughts are on it, and then go from there. So I thought they handled that pretty well.
Yeah, and it's just such a tragedy, man. It really tears. And I said this last night, and I'll say it again. Every time I turn the TV and I see these types of shootings at these educational facilities, and they know and they have evidence of what the guy was about before he even got on the bus, just like they had evidence on several other, the Parkland shooting, the Uvalde. They had evidence. The warning signs were there, and they were chosen to be ignored. And at some point, these school officials, these police officials, they really have to start doing their due diligence and really start doing their jobs and protecting, these student athletes, these students as a whole. We got to do a better job at that.
Yeah. It's just that, man, I don't know. It's just crazy. You wouldn't think that a guy that was on the football team would come back like that and shoot teammates. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and
Like
again,
we were
right now
talking
the
about,
motive,
things have
the motive
changed.
is not known. I'm sure right now, obviously he's in custody, and I'm sure at some point maybe the motive will, come to light, and then we'll have a more understanding of what exactly made him do what he did. Not that it excuses it, but at least we'll have some idea of what it was that triggered him to go to that level. But at some point, man, hey, I don't care what motive his was. He ain't got no right to cowardly shoot somebody from the back of the damn bus.
And he probably, and I hate to say it, but he must have been probably targeting certain people, because if not, I think a whole lot more people might have got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, again, there,
You know what I
I
mean?
haven't seen any video footage on what actually took place on the bus. All we know is that he was at the back of the bus. It was 10:46, and he started shooting. Now, nobody knows if somebody wrestled the gun away from him, if there was a fight that ensued, they were able to get, nobody knows what all really
Yeah.
truly took place after he started shooting.
It could have been a whole lot. It could have been a whole lot worse.
Absolutely. And I
I mean,
think,
don't get me wrong.
we've
It's
only
already.
scratched the surface, right? I mean, we've only scratched the surface. There's going to be more details, that are going to come to light. And at some point, we're going to learn more about what actually happened on the bus. But for right now, that's all we have to go on. But either way, man, it's just such a heartbreaking thing to see and hear about, man.
It is. And we see
What
it
else
too
we got on
much.
tap?
See it too much. We see it too much, man. Did you watch any college basketball last night?
No, I actually was watching. What was I watching last night? Yesterday was Monday. No, yesterday was Tuesday. No, I did this show. I went to bed. I did not catch any of that. No, I did watch a part of the Memphis game against New Orleans, and then I went to bed right after that.
Michigan State knocked off number 4 Kentucky last night in overtime.
Wow.
That was a good game. That's the game I was watching while we was doing unscripted.
Wow. Hey, that's gonna shift some rankings around.
Yeah, it went to
So what is
overtime.
about? So is Kentucky not the real deal?
Actually went to 2 overtimes.
Yeah.
Went to 2 overtimes last night, and I was going to watch some of the Duke and I forget who Duke played right after that last night. I was going to watch it. I ended up not watching it. I ended up falling asleep. But yeah, that was a good. Kentucky and Michigan State was a good basketball game to watch. Came right down to the end, and Michigan State was able to. Michigan State was able to hold on. But I think Kentucky's a good team. I just think Michigan State might be a little bit better than what people thought.
Yeah, I think
happens.
now that we kind of dialed down a little bit from the World Series and things of that nature, I definitely need to get back into watching more college basketball. I really need to catch back up on my team. My college NCAA team is the Houston Cougars, so I need to kind of get back into and see how Cougar Nation is doing. I know last time I checked, I know they were ranked pretty high. Matter of fact, I think one of them was a projected MVP person. But I got to get back into the Cougar basketball and because I like watching Baylor and Texas. I like watching all three of those teams play. But my team actually is Houston Cougars, and I'm really hoping that we can. I really hope we get back to the Final Four. That would be amazing. And then, God forbid, we can get into the Final Two. That'd be straight. But I'd like to at least see them get back to the Final Four, and because that's really what that's what University of Houston is known about, is their basketball, their baseball, and then their football. And it's pretty much in that order in terms of competitiveness, I guess you would say, in those programs at U of H.
Yeah, I'm an Indiana Hoosier fan, and we've been known for basketball, but over the last few years we haven't been real strong in basketball. But this year we're ranked 13th in the country. We're starting to Mike Woodson's starting to turn that team around last couple of years since he got there, and I expect pretty good this year. And so far we look pretty good, but right now it's hard to tell right now because you know how it is beginning the college basketball season. It starts, the season starts at the beginning of November, but until after Thanksgiving, most teams don't play no big games. You're playing these small schools that are usually pretty much easy wins most of the time. So a lot of teams don't get into their conference schedule and stuff till after Thanksgiving. So it'll be interesting to see how we look once we start the Big Ten play, because Big Ten is usually a pretty tough conference in basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. It definitely is. I find it funny. Like when I listen to Rob Scott, Rob Scott, he's the kind of guy that, I think he follows players, and he's a fan favorite of players more than he is actual teams. I think Golden State and Chicago kind of gives you an idea of that, and I can actually identify a little bit with that because that's how I am about college sports. I like Earl. I loved Earl Campbell growing up as a kid. And when he got the Heisman out of University of Texas, that really kind of got me into University of Texas football was Earl Campbell and those big 70-inch thighs. I mean, this guy was just a specimen of an athlete. And I think what got me into the Houston Rockets, what got me into Houston basketball was Clyde Drexler, Akeem Olajuwon, and the Phi Slamma Jamma. That really got me into Cougar basketball. And I think that's just kind of where I've always stayed, is with those, even though I kind of have two different universities, but I have different sporting programs for each. It's weird, but I, again, we're always an influence of a driving force that gets you into whatever team it is you support. And those were my driving influences at the time. And that kind of, I've stuck with those guys ever since. But yeah, man, I think Houston's got a good shot. I think Houston has a really good shot at getting to the Final Four this year. Of course, we'll see. And next time we do Afternoon Blitz, I will be more educated on my college basketball, I promise, and it'll be much more.
Like I said, hey, I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of it yet just because you don't get a lot of competitive games. I watched a little bit of IU the other night, and then I watched that game last night because I thought it might be pretty close to end up being close, so I kept watching it.
Hey, what Philly sports guy? We're talking about college basketball in November.
It's true.
What a time to be alive, man. Seriously.
It's true. But see, I grew up here in Indiana, so I grew up being Bob Knight fan, and I was a big fan of Damon Bailey, Calbert Chaney, and that team, Gray Graham. We had a good team back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I've always been a big IU fan. But let's get back into some NFL. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Are we going NFL? Okay. All right. I don't know if we were going to go
MLB
or NFL or what direction. No, I was just. I was just curious on what your thoughts were on. They obviously announced the manager of. We got the rookie of the years. Now we got the manager of the years, which was Showalter of the Mets for the National League, and then that dude from the. The guy from the Guardians.
Francona.
Why could I not remember his damn name?
Francona. Tito.
Thank you. Jesus, he was a Boston Red Sox man. I don't know why Francona just left my brain. But yeah, so Francona got it for the AL side. And hey, I think both those guys deserve. They did really good jobs with the teams that they had. But, again, I don't understand when a guy like Thompson comes in as an interim, even though he didn't win the World Series, he comes at a very difficult and a very awkward time when the team had all but given up on itself to the point where Bohm, B-O-H-M-B or B-O-H-M, I think that's how you spell his last name, was at the point when he was actually one of the instrumental guys in their offense, where he said he hated being a Philly. He didn't want to be a Philly anymore. And then all of a sudden, Thompson comes in, and by the time they get to the NLCS, Baum is just like, I love this organization. I love this team. And I can't imagine playing anywhere else, blah, 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 blah. When you can take a team who is basically all undefeated at the middle of a season or beginning the middle of the season, and you could turn them into the World Series contenders that they were, and they went through all of those emotional attributes, if you will, how do you not get the damn – how does – nothing against Buck Showalter, but how does Thompson not get the damn award is beyond freaking me.
Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you there. I mean, yeah, Showalter had a great season with the Mets. The Mets were a lot better team than they have been. But when you take a team from, what were they? They were like, I want to say 10 or 11 games under 500.
Oh, yeah, way back.
When he took over. And then now, and then you get them, what, 9 or 10 games over 500, make the playoffs.
Right.
And then not only did you make the playoffs, you get to the World Series.
Right.
What is the Manager of the Year award? Does it just go by regular season like the rest of the awards?
It goes by regular season. And even at that argument, the fact that he took a team where they were and got them into the wild card, they really had no business being in the wild card. As a matter of fact, if Girardi was still the manager, they probably wouldn't have seen the wild card. So when you can take a team that has really no earthly being in the wild card, all of a sudden they're in the wild card at the regular season, come on, how do you not look at those? I mean, that's incredibly difficult to change the culture of a team like that and come back and put yourself into a position to ultimately wind up in the World Series. I mean, how does that? To me, it doesn't make sense. And nothing against Showalter. Hey, you did a good job. But in my opinion, and this is a very humble opinion, you had no business being there. In my opinion, it was Thompson's award to win. And the fact that the crazy part about it is he wasn't even nominated. He wasn't even in the 3 names.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we doing? I got to force make you. My panel operate like that. I guess it go like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that not happen?
He at least should have been a finalist at the very least. But I was just doing a little bit of research. Showalter becomes the first manager to win it 4 times. First person to win Manager of the Year with 4 different clubs, joined by Tony La Russa who's won it with 3 clubs, and Bobby Cox with 2 teams. He's the only 4-time winners. So they've all won.
I wonder if Showalter made it to the World Series.
Teams.
Did Showalter win a World Series, or did he make it to the World Series as a manager? Oh, that's really what I'm curious.
He won it in '94 with the Yankees. Oh no! I'll have to look to see if he's made it to a World Series or not. He won Manager of the Year with the Rangers in 2004 and with the Baltimore.
I remember that one.
Baltimore Orioles in 2014.
Right.
And of course this year. So he's the first one to do it 4 different teams.
Well, 3 out of the 4, he didn't make it to the World Series. I understand World Series is a part of that, but again, God, I just don't understand. I don't understand their logical reasoning for Thompson at the very basic minimum. He should have been in the top 3.
It says the National League voting. It says Francona received 17 first place votes and 112 voting points, so he was pretty much the American League. But the National League voting was much closer. Showalter had 8 first place votes, 77 points. Beat out Dodgers' Dave Roberts, who had 8 first place votes with 57 points. The Braves' Brian Snedeker had 7. The Cardinals' Oliver Mormel had 5. The Phillies' Rob Thomas had 2 votes with 36 points. So Thomas only had 2 votes.
Crazy
to be a Manager of the Year.
And on the flip side of that, and again, man, people could say about the Astros being a complete, and I get all that too. Trust me, I understand all that. But how does Dusty Baker, number one, take a team that was in a scandal situation, continuously go? But number 2, if anything knows about the Astros in the 2022 season this year, they started out week 2 in last place. Believe it or not, the Astros were in last place.
Yeah, they couldn't hit the They couldn't
I
hit the ball
know.
at the
Trust
beginning
me,
of
I
the
was
season.
there and frustrated. But we went from last place to the number 2 damn team in all of MLB with record. And then we wind up with a no-no and another no-no and then a World Series championship. And you can't even have the courtesy to put Dusty Baker's name in the top 3?
Dusty Baker had three votes with 31 points. Here's how the AL broke down. Of course, Francona had the most. Then the second place was the Orioles coach Brandon Hyde. He had 9 first place votes with 79 points. And then the Mariners Scott Surface had 1 vote for 43 points. Dusty Baker had 3 votes with 31 points, and the Yankees Aaron Boone had 0 votes with 4 points. What's going on, Rob?
Oh yeah, I agree.
What's
with
up?
What's happening?
I'm just I'm bitching that Dusty Baker wasn't at least mentioned in the top 3 guys going up for manager of the year in the AL. And I'm also bitching about Thompson not being on the National League manager in the top 3, given what both managers did, and yet their names aren't even mentioned. Rob Scott,
Jay's just doing a lot of bitching this morning or this afternoon.
You won the title, man. Let it go.
Hey, listen, damn it, I want it all. I want the whole world.
I get you because the Houston Rockets down show ain't gonna help you out.
Hey, you hush your mouth, Golden State / Chicago. Listen, you are a Golden State Bulls fan.
Yeah. Yeah. And
or would you rather be saying you are a Chicago Warriors fan? Hey, we can
just
do it the other way too.
Say I'm a Chicago Curry fan.
He said I'm a Chicago Warriors. Hey, if you wear the hat's the whole team.
I wear the hat just because I like the colors. But honestly, if Steph Curry leaves Golden State now, I will no longer be a fan of Golden State.
Yeah.
I'm
going to tell you right now, hey, listen, a white guy going down the streets of Compton with a solid red Rockets hat on might not be the best idea for me.
I don't think it'd be the best idea no matter what color you are. No matter what color you are as a person. It's not a smart idea.
Don't shoot me. I'm not a grip. I'm blood. I'm not into this shit. I just lost my debit card.
Especially with how they feel in LA right now. I mean,
especially if you're wearing a red hat saying you're not a Crip, you're definitely probably aren't in good shape.
Hey, you know what I've wondered? I've always wondered, what would they do if I wore a red hat and had a blue bandana sticking out my back pocket? Would they be confused?
No, you're gonna get checked by both sides.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. It's gonna be worse.
Right. It'll be worse. It'll be a lot worse.
Hey, what if I had a red hat on, a blue bandana, and I had a white T-shirt that says "I love Switzerland"?
Hey, you know what? Just look at Frankie's comment.
Hey, I don't know, man. Hey, listen, I can run pretty fast. I don't know if I can outrun a bullet, but I can run pretty fast.
Hey, you better hope they give you a chance to run. Hey, look, Jay, with the way the Lakers are playing right now, with the way the Lakers are playing right now, you might not be safe in LA wearing a Lakers hat.
Damn. So much to talk about the Lakers too, man. I mean, well, we're all over the damn map now.
You know what? I was gonna mention this on bullshit, but right now, if I'm the Chicago Bulls, I'm honestly on the phone with Dwight Howard. I'm calling him. I'm seeing what terms can we agree to, because the Bulls suck interiorly. Like, they're getting beat up. Like, I saw it against the Denver Nuggets. I saw it against the Pelicans. Right now, we're guard heavy, but none of our guards are available. Kobe's been injured. Lonzo's been injured. Like, if I'm the Bulls right now, I'm seriously looking at clearing up space for Dwight.
But what is Dwight Howard really going to do for your team? Honestly, he's kind of past his prime.
But he can be there defensively. We don't need him for scoring.
I mean, I don't know. Is he really going to give you though what you need on deep? I mean, I
Yes,
don't know.
he
I mean, I
will.
haven't seen.
Yes, he will. Well, you got to think about
Dwight's
it.
kind of old these days. He's,
But
you know,
think
that
about
super
it.
is
Think
super
about it
old,
from this
but,
aspect, Jay. He's a former 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a
Don't
former
start giving me stats. Don't tell me about what
No,
he did.
no.
I want you to tell me what he's
Listen
doing
to
at
this.
the metamucil age of damn near 40. I
Listen.
don't care what he did his past accolades.
Well,
That's not Dwight Howard anymore. He don't have the cape.
You gotta
There's
let
no
me talk.
cape.
You gotta let me talk, Jay. You gotta let me talk. You gotta let me talk. We don't need Superman. We just need a defender, Jay. Right now, you have a Dwight Howard who has something to prove. He said it on Shannon Sharp podcast. He cannot believe he doesn't have a job in the NBA right now. And with the way that it's a scarcity and big man, I'm surprised too.
And wasn't he mad that he wasn't in the top 75?
I would be mad too.
As well.
Come on now. I love Anthony Davis just because he's from Chicago. But if I had to choose between AD and Dwight Howard on the top 75, I'm choosing Dwight. Dwight has done more in the NBA than Anthony Davis has. I'm sorry.
No, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna dispute that. No, you're right. I'm not. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I'll tell you right now, both of them suck. I wouldn't want either one of them. But I guess if I had to choose which one sucked the most, I guess you're right. I'd probably stay with the Dwight Howard, just as I know Dwight Howard at the very least can stay on the damn court.
I mean, no disrespect to Damian Lillard, James Harden, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook. I understand some of those guys got to make the list, but over Dwight Howard, no. I'm sorry. I could have made an argument for Dwight Howard over a lot of people on that top 75 list.
No, I get it. Hey, trust me, I get what you're saying. And again, look, a lot of those lists we know are skewed. Okay, there's some subjectivity and a lot of these damn lists that are going out anyway. I think a lot of us will agree with that. I'll tell you right now, the Lakers' biggest damn problem is they're scared to let go of LeBron James.
Yeah,
and I don't understand why.
Because
look,
he's LeBron James,
bro. I get who he is, but I also get who he is, and who he is an aging star that really you have no draft capital. At some point you have to say, okay, hey, listen, LeBron, I love you, bro. Hey, you the man, the myth, and the motherfucking legend. But I gotta let you go. I need draft capital. I need to start reconfiguring this team because with you by yourself, you're a great player. But because I have you with yourself in your contract, it is a hindrance to the rest of the process that I need to put in place as well. And I think, and AD's in the same boat. Hey, listen, I'm trading them both. At some point, the Los Angeles Lakers need a reboot. They are in desperate need of a reboot.
Well, I don't see LeBron being there next year. I don't see LeBron being there next year.
He probably won't be.
Nah, LeBron might come on and go to Golden State. Get him one more ring.
I'm good. Look, nothing against Braun, but if he makes that move, I'm just saying, I don't ever want to hear a motherfucker say LeBron better than Michael Jordan. Don't you ever say that to me.
They shouldn't be saying it now, Jay.
I'm so sick of this LeBron BS, man. This dude, hey, look, he got a legacy. He got him some rings. I get it. But right now, he's nothing more than a trash bin at the end of a damn Laker lineup. Okay?
He's an old guy, man. Cut him some slack. He old.
I ain't cutting him nothing.
He old.
I will say this.
LeBron is just in the league to break that scoring record.
What I do love about LeBron, extremely a lot, and I will defend him to the death, is I love what LeBron gives back to the community. And that's what I love about LeBron. What he does for the educational world, what he does for all the other charities, LeBron gives back a lot. And that so I don't want to take that off. The guy is phenomenal. Philanthropy, all the things that he does is amazing. Just freaking amazing. But as a basketball player, hell, get him out of here. Move on to the next guy.
I think he might end back up in Cleveland.
Oh, with the way they looking right now, I wouldn't blame him.
I think he might end up back there close to home in Cleveland and finish his career out.
The only reason I say he doesn't is because of his ties in Los Angeles.
True.
It's Hollywood stuff, uninterrupted. All that stuff has great ties in Hollywood. So that's why I say somewhere like Golden State, where he can still live in LA, maybe get a rental property in San Fran, and he can still travel back and forth.
LeBron freaking James. Hey, listen, he ain't got to get rid of nothing, man. He gonna live in LA. He gonna have that little helicopter pad, and he just gonna take a little helicopter flight from LA to San Fran. Let's call it what it is. He's rich. He ain't got no damn. He ain't got about no damn rental property.
Oh no, Jay.
What do I look like? Do I look like? Hey, I'm LeBron James. Do I look like rental property to you?
He's
I
more
got a
than
freaking helicopter, and I got a guy sipping cognac waiting for me at the
He's more than
pad.
rich. He's more than rich.
Oh, I know. Hey, trust me. Hey, look, I get it. Okay. Hey, listen. I call him generational. He's a generational man. He got generational everything, except these nuts. But that's okay.
Why you? Oh man! How many games?
So wrong with Jay, Lord Jesus.
You think Kyrie Irving's going to ever play again for the Nets?
No.
Well, what? He's at game number 7 right now?
No.
Yep.
But why is
Nets,
let me ask you this. He was given a 5-game suspension. He's on his 7th day now.
Well,
why is he on the 7th day?
Well,
Did
they
he
said
not
a
complete
minimum.
the 6 tasks?
no,
They never
he
said
did.
a 5-game. They said minimum of 5 games.
They said minimum
That's
of 5
true, they
games.
did.
But
They did.
he did. He hasn't. I don't think he's. I mean, if I'm Kyrie, I'm not doing that. Dude, I apologize, bro. I'm not about to make me look like an asshole. Because if you really boil down to it, he never really said anything. Well, we had a problem with.
No, he did. He did. No, you know what he did? He did by omission. He said it by omission. Anytime you put your name to an endorsement of a product, by omission, you're saying it. And I'm sorry, but Kyrie, I do require an apology, which he gave. I do require a fine, which I'm sure he gave. But I also do require you to go through some sort of sensitivity and anti-Semitism training because apparently you don't know it. And it probably will help you out. I'm sorry,
but I don't think he realized.
But when you endorse something that is anti-Semitic, you got to. Hey, look, there's some atoning you got to do, and part of that atoning is going through the training of sensitivity and anti-Semitic, so that way we know going forward as a society. You know, you're going to know right from wrong. Because let me tell you something. There's a kid out there somewhere that's watching this, that's listening to this, that sees Kyrie endorsing hate speech, and it's going to be the next guy out there that's not going to only endorse hate speech, but now he's going to do hate actions. And that's where a lot of this Kyrie has got to take ownership of, and he's got to apply the training so he can lead the next generation of guys following him or listening to him to a better spot.
But after
we have to require more of our athletes when they say things like this and not just let it go by the wayside, because these actions have reactions and we don't know where the reaction is going to come from. But if it comes to your neighborhood and somebody's dead through hate speech or a hateful action because of hate speech, because of Kyrie Irving, and they follow Kyrie Irving, it's a chain reaction all the way down to the lowest level.
But the whole purpose of the DVD or the movie that he gave an endorsement to it, I know it had anti-Semitic messaging in there, but it was also a message to Black people as to our history, our heritage. And I think he was promoting it from that aspect. I don't think he was trying to down any of the American Jews, as people like to call it, or the Jewish community, period. But it was more so a message to the Black culture of, hey, this is our heritage. You know, we actually have some Jewish heritage within us as well, some Jewish bloodline within us as well. So I think that it just got caught up, and it came at a time, like I mentioned, my problem with Kyrie, okay, you can like what you like, you know, you just have to be careful how you go about endorsing something that you don't know the full truth behind. My problem with Kyrie is that you always a damn distraction. Like, stop being a distraction to your team. That was my whole beef with Kyrie.
Yeah.
So from that aspect, after he had the talk with Commissioner Silva, after he's had the talk with Josiah, both owner and commissioner came out and said, after conversing with Kyrie, I can clearly say, I can confidently say that he has no anti-Semitic, messaging that he was trying to get across, and they don't believe he's anti-Semitic. It's just the way that he went about it. And if I'm Kyrie and I'm looking at the Brooklyn Nets, it's like, okay, I can see the fine. I can see the apology. Yeah, I have to acknowledge what I did.
Oh, no, but he didn't see the apology.
But I'm not. I know he didn't say it. He didn't say it until. No, he didn't say it until they started passing judgment down on him. But even with that being said, Jay,
was it nighttime?
He still apologized. He still apologized, Jay. It don't matter if it was.
But watch this. But it's amazing he chose a time to say it where hardly anybody's really out there to see it. I'm sorry. I don't think he took full accountability. If you take full accountability, you're right there on the Good Morning Show. You're right there in the heart of social media, and you come to it and you say, hey, look, and you state your case. Hey, just like you said, Rob, I'm a black man. I learned that black men have a root to Jewish community, and this is the way I was meaning for it to go. I realized there was anti-Semitic speech in there. I do apologize for that. Look, you got to be 100% clear, cut, and concise to the point in order for the world people to truly accept your apology. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
No, I get you.
A half-ass apology is a half-ass apology.
I think what his biggest mistake was his first press conference after he
doubled down on it.
That was his biggest. That was what got him in the deepest water. If he would have said, "Hey, I didn't realize there was hate speech in there," and apologized, then I don't think it'd been near as big a deal.
Well, that comes back to Kyrie.
He kind of doubled down on it, and
that comes back to him always being
I'm the beacon of light. Kyrie said, "I'm the beacon of light." Well, you know who else said they were the beacon of light? Jim Jones. And where are they at? They drank some Kool-Aid and they went straight to Jesus. Well, I don't know if Jim Jones did, but the followers did. He was a beacon of light too. I'm just calling it is what it is.
But I do stand on what I feel about the Brooklyn Nets organization. Like you put him in a possible situation where even if he wanted to come back, he's not. Because I wouldn't do all that. I'm not about to give no organization fine. Why don't you give? We still waiting on damn reparations. Why don't y'all give us some damn money? And that's what I feel, Kyrie. I'm not giving my money to them. I'll pay my fine and I'll apologize. But all this sensitivity train, all that. No, I'm not going through that because
what money
I never intended
what money.
For slavery, just like Jewish people got reparations for the Holocaust.
Hell, Rob,
Native Americans got.
Rob, were you a slave?
No, my people were.
Your people? How many generations back?
Dude, it's Jewish people that didn't even spend one day in a concentration camp in the Holocaust that got paid, Jay. The Jewish community got paid. They got paid. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, I feel like, hey, if you got ties to it, you get ties to it. But I don't know.
That's been a problem in the black. Like you pretty much stripped us of everything, and then even when you let us free, you didn't give us anything to build off of. Where people actually put themselves back in slavery as an indentured servant so they can get paid for their services.
Hey, that's like Native Americans, which I am half. No, I'm not half. I'm actually a quarter. My mother was half. My grandmother was full Native American. There's paperwork to trust me to document the Native American in my family all the way back to the reservations. But they were never given true. And we took the damn land from them and killed them and raped their women while we were doing it.
Yeah, but now you see,
Native
Americans now have rights, though. You know that, right? That everybody don't have. Like, if you can prove you have Native American, you get free healthcare. You get a lot of free stuff if you can prove that you're Native American.
To your point, hey, watch this. If you're Jewish and you got ties back to, I guess, an ancestor that was actually put into the chamber and killed, yeah, you deserve that reparation money. If you're African American and you can prove ties that all the way back to whatever ancestor you had that was in slavery, okay, so be it. What I'm saying is, then you're entitled to that money. No, but what I'm saying is, hey, you're right. If you got lineage paperwork that says Rob Scott was related to, X person in slavery, well, then Rob Scott deserves a certain portion of that. I agree with that. I understand that. Same thing with the Jewish, same thing with Native Americans, but I feel like you've got to have paperwork stating that, hey, look, because otherwise, hell, man, how you gonna prove some shit like
that? By showing my face.
The day they come out with some Native American restitution, I got my paperwork in triplicate, and it will be filed tomorrow under Geronimo.
Well, I used to sell health insurance, so I know if you like, they ask specific questions, like they'll ask you a questionnaire of your job and all this stuff.
I got no nipples.
Then they go into a questionnaire of, okay, are you a Native American? What tribe are you from? Can you prove? If you can prove you're Native American, dude, it's so much things in America that people that are true Native Americans they get for free because
that
Native
was the
American.
only thing that saved my sister. My sister went for college educational money. And, she went for all the grants, applied as herself. And there's nothing out there for Caucasians that, just regular Caucasian, middle income, whatever. But damn it, when she put down that paper that said my granny was Cherokee, if the floodgate didn't open.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, man, the floodgates open at that point.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth.
Yeah,
and I feel
like it was either that or
we still ain't got ours yet. So, but that's a different conversation for a different.
You do have it in the Negro College Fund. Was it UNCF? You do have money out there. Trust me, Rob. I know it don't seem like a lot, but when you're Caucasian and there's no white UNCF for you, trust me, it gets tough out there in the world. I'm just saying.
To combat that argument, if they see my face or your face, you'll get the job first.
That's not true. They know I'm dumb as a box.
Oh,
this dude's so much more intelligent. We're gonna give him the job.
It's the truth, Jay. I'm just because I'm speaking from experience, Jay.
Hey, watch this. I've
actually trained people that I'm smarter than, and yeah, it's the truth.
I don't know. Hey, well, I mean, no. Actually, it's not a bad rabbit hole to go down. I mean, honestly, we could talk about that for days. Because listen, my father is extremely qualified in what he did for a chemical plant. Watch this, Rob, at a chemical plant. And they asked him, "Can you train this young lady to be the next plant manager?" He's like, "Well, I can train her. I can't guarantee she's gonna be." He trained her, man. Hey, look, my dad wrote tech manuals this thick, and he would share those tech manuals with her. And it came to a point where my dad, this lady was a young Latina. I gotta put Latina on there. And they came to me and said, "Hey, now mind you, they sent my dad to all kinds of, training. And I mean, my dad's well qualified in what he does." And they came to him and said, "Mr. McMahon, what do you think about this lady?" She's not ready. She is not ready for this job. Well, you know what they did? They gave her the damn job anyway. Over my dad. They gave her the job because my dad was also going for the job. They gave her the job over my dad. My dad's white. She's Latina, but she's also female. So you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, and you cannot make this up, it wasn't a month and a half later, under her watch, the plant got blown up. No. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny because watch this.
It's not funny, people, but it's funny.
No. What I'm saying is, but hey, 22 people died.
I mean, no, it's not funny in that aspect.
Hold on.
It's funny how that thing works.
Watch this. One of the guys that died was 28 years old, had a 6-month-old baby. And I used to go golfing with my dad with this guy, John Blackstock. And I'm telling you, again, you're right. Skin color, genetic, and all this other stuff that we think we have to, put in these. It's bullshit. It should come down to the qualifications of the candidate that gets the damn job. Because, like I said, had they listened to my dad, only few people.
You see what Damien just put?
Oh, fuck Damien. I don't care about Damien. But what I'm saying is, and it goes on, and it goes on in the sports world too, right? We get people who are not qualified for the job.
Oh,
and it's crazy. Because you can't tell me for one damn minute.
What? Okay, so let me ask you this about Jeff Saturday.
Minute that Hackett, you can't tell me for one damn minute that the head coach of the Denver Broncos, Hackett, is more qualified than Brian Flores. You can't tell me that.
Of course not. Okay, so let me ask you this then. So let's let's transition because
Hold on, I
this
got
got to
to
deal
talk
with
about
Chris.
Power Corner.
This got to deal with Chris team. Chris, I got to hear yours first. What's your reaction about Jeff Saturday?
What do you mean? As them hiring him as the interim coach?
Yeah.
I didn't have a. What did he say?
I don't know.
No, I didn't have a big problem with it because it's an intern position. So they did. But now, if they decide to hire him as a head coach, yeah, you got to do all the interviews and all that. I think what Irsay was doing, he was looking for somebody from the outside that could come in and evaluate the team, which I think a lot of people forget. Jeff Saturday was a consultant for the Colts, so he'd been around the team. He had a connection with the team. It wasn't like he was just completely hadn't even been around the guys or anything. I don't get like all these people saying it's a disgrace to the coaching profession. I understand, yeah, people work up to get there, but also see at this point, if we get more players being fast tracked as coaches, I think that'll help with getting more minorities as head coach. Because I think what a problem is, a lot of these players don't want to go into coaching, and even Keyshawn Johnson said on ESPN the other day that he thinks he could coach, but he don't want to have to start at the bottom. Well, the problem is a lot of these coaches, they start when they're 20, 23 years old, start working as an assistant or whatever, basically going and get coffee and shit for the head coach. Yeah. Well, you get these guys that are former players, they're 35, 40 years old, they're done playing. They're not going to start at the bottom and go fetch coffee for these coaches and stuff. So you don't, I think if you get situations like, say, that's why I hope Saturday does good. Because if Saturday does good, it might open up positions for other players to get fast tracked into coaching. And I think that could really help get more minorities in the head coaching in coaching positions, because I think more players would be more apt to do it if they can go in and be started at a more level playing field and have to start at the bottom, start all over and try to work their way up.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob. Hey, I love what Kevin Durant said when they were talking about the current state of the Nets. And he said, look, our starting lineup is Edmund, Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect. But what are you expecting from that group? You expect us to win just because I'm out there? No. You ain't got no Kyrie, and Kyrie don't give a damn. What a time to be alive.
That was Katie's subtle way of throwing his team under the bus.
Hey, just a little bit. But I was going to ask you, do you think that have the Nets gone and hired Udoka? I've been saying this for a hot minute now. If you bring in a guy Udoka, yeah, I understand he has issues with upper level female, but you can sort that out and correct that in the interview process. I think a guy like Udoka could really have brought that team together. I
think right now the Nets are at a point where I don't know if any coach can come in there and save what they currently have. KD is not happy. KD hasn't been happy. KD has a lot of inner demons that he has to fight. We know about the situation with Kyrie. Kyrie's always been a distraction since he's been with the Nets. I mean, he chased James Harden out of town. And now we have a Ben Simmons where now even upper management on the Brooklyn Nets are looking at this guy and questioning, does he have a motor? Is he passionate about the game? Does he want to win as bad as we do? Because now Ben Simmons has been a shell of himself. So I think right now their issues are bigger than coaching. What it boils to down now is how can we break up this team and try to get some of the draft capital back that we lost building this team. That only when in hindsight, they've only played 15 games together, 20 games together before James Harden called it quits as a big three. Yeah. This team who a lot of people had as favorites to win it all, but at the end of the day, they couldn't even get out the damn second round.
Right. Yeah, if the Brooklyn Nets could ever, as a team, just get out of their own way and just come together and build that cohesive unit, they could be something special.
Well, Kate, your problem is
they could be something special, Rob. They could be
trying to build around KD, and KD is not a leader.
No, he's not a leader, and I don't think he necessarily built around
him. Leader, and I'm sorry, your coach cannot be your leader. He cannot be the only leader on that team. Every championship team, you look in history, the coach was the alpha, but there was also an alpha on the court to deliver the coach's message. You look at the Spurs, that was always Tim Duncan. You look at the Bulls, that was Michael Jordan. You look at the Lakers, it was Kobe Bryant. Even with Shaq there, it was Kobe. Kobe was students' teacher's pet. It was Phil's teacher's pet. So,
yeah, absolutely. No, you're right. Hey, there's no doubt about it.
If you're the Brooklyn Nets and KD is your best player, doesn't make him your best leader, you're in trouble. Because KD,
how many true basketball leaders?
Kyrie was the leader of that team, and that's the sad part.
And he can still be the leader if Kyrie can just set aside. Kyrie, man. No. I don't trust him either. What I'm saying is that if Kyrie can just set aside all the dramatic crap in his life and just go out there and play basketball.
Well, it's not even about that. Kyrie has what you call, and I have it too. He has authority issues. Because when he had his cake and he was able to eat it too, he didn't want it. You have LeBron.
Well, that's true. And they always say, the best leaders are followers, or you have to be a follower to be a leader. So that's true. If you can't follow, how are you going to lead?
He couldn't even follow LeBron James.
Well, that's true. Jesus Christ, that's true. Hey, that's true, man. Damn.
But LeBron is one of the best leaders in the NBA, if you ask me.
Yeah. He's a terrible general manager, but he's a great leader.
Hey, you can't even say that. I mean, he made a bad
No, he's terrible.
call.
No, I can say that. He's a terrible
he made a bad call with Russell Westbrook.
No, I can say that.
Look at the teams he's put together. He was the GM of Miami. He was the GM of Miami. He was the GM when he went back to Cleveland.
That Miami team was already there. He just
that Miami team wasn't already there. Chris Bosh wasn't already there.
They really bring to that Miami team, if I may ask.
It was LeBron's idea to bring in Ray Allen. People forget that. It was LeBron's idea to bring in Ray Allen, who helped them win the championship.
Hey, the sun shines on a dead dog's ass once a day. So he got lucky one time.
So he didn't get lucky. He got a ring, got to bring in AD there. He saw Kyrie there. He hit up Kevin Love. He said, hey, let's go to Cleveland with Kyrie and let's go help him out. Did he not get a ring there too? So it's more than luck, Jay. The guy knows how to put together a team. That's why I gave him the name GM Brian.
But what happened with the Russell Westbrook situation?
Because he looked at Westbrook and he chose him based off a name, and I think he had a hidden agenda. He looked at what Westbrook did because everybody kept saying, oh, KD went to the Warriors. KD won back-to-back MVPs, and it was against LeBron. KD is better than LeBron. LeBron say, I'll do you one better. I'll go get the guy that you couldn't win the championship with, and we will win. LeBron just got a little overzealous. He really didn't realize that, hey, maybe if I was 34, this possibly could have worked, but not with me being 36 and 37.
Hey, listen, when you bring a guy like freaking Westbrook into your squad, that's not a little overzealous. That's a lot overzealous.
But think about the praise LeBron would have got if they won the championship with Russell. And he did it.
There's a lot of things you can say if. Oh, my God.
I know. Let's
not go down the if train, because if it was an if train, I'd be a billionaire right now. Okay,
Jay, I get it.
Over the first divorce. So let's not go down the if train.
Hey, Jay, I get it. If was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. I get it.
Hey, listen, damn it. That's the first damn thing you said I freaking agree and love
with. Oh, man. But you know what, though? It's like right now, the Brooklyn Nets, look, me and my friends was joking earlier in a group text we got. And they was like, man, we think Brooklyn needs Kyrie. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I think Brooklyn needs Jesus.
Well, they definitely need a divine healing. That's for sure. I recommend they go find one of them old school West Virginia mountain churches that still's got the serpents. And if they can handle a serpent and come out of that thing alive, that'll put the fear into you and you'll be all right.
Hey, Tony, you got a point. His ego was the reason he couldn't apologize. His ego was the reason he doubled
that pride
down
is an ugly thing.
Hey, J. Cole said it best. I know if you ain't heard his song, it's pride is the devil.
It is the devil. Seriously. Hey, it is the damn devil.
Oh, Rob, what did you think about the Jeff Saturday? You asked me about that.
You know what, Chris? I didn't want to go the route that everybody went through. Now, granted, yes, I'm a black man, and I'm like, man, you know, it's an opportunity that could have went to one of us. But honestly, I could understand why Indiana went that route. Why the Colts went that route? Because first of all, consultant or not, Jeff Saturday won with that team, and he's been
Wait a minute,
around.
Rob. You said you're a black man because I thought you was a white man that went overzealous with the copper tone.
Hey, you know what? It's just a really good tan.
You stayed in Hawaii a little bit too long.
he said, "Hey, listen." He went to the tennis salon, and I said, "I'll take this."
It's just a really good tan. Like Chris said, man. I was sitting on the beach under the sun too long. You know.
He said, "I'll take the number 26, please."
Hey. I went to the beach. I was Adam Silver, and when I left the beach, I was LeBron. So
hey, you laugh, man. Hey, you laugh, but you know what? I went into a I went into a tennis salon one time, and I'll never forget. The lady says, "So, sir, what exactly is your ideal goal for a tan?" I said, "I don't know. How much money would it cost to get somewhere between a Hispanic and an African American?" Because that's where I want to reside. So I want to be that number 6.
You wanted to be Big Papi.
I tried everything I could to become Big Papi, and it just fell short.
No,
she said, "Sir, we don't have enough money to get you there. You got to go do base tans and regular tans, tri tans, some tans. There's all kinds of tans you got to go through." It was ridiculous. By the time you come out of it, you don't even get to the middle of African American and Hispanic. You come out of an ugly thing of orange.
Oh, you would have been Trump color.
I don't know where orange fits into the world of life. So I
would have been Trump color. You got white, black, and Trump.
Man, listen, that Trump color was pretty rough. That was a pretty rough color to be, let me tell you, man. Hey, what is up with Giselle?
Look, I know about that, but hold on, let me right, Chris, I get that. But now to answer Chris's question though, I really think it was a good move by the Colts. I think Jeff Saturday can be a voice. He'll be a person that the team will listen to. He's gonna garnish their respect. That's not no little dude. So it's not like you sending the social studies teacher in that locker room. You're sending a former lineman and a guy that's been around greatness. I think he can give them some great insight on what it takes to win. The things you need to do as far as film study, being prepared, practicing the way you play. Because I think that's the problem with a lot of these athletes in today's sports. They look at practice as something that they have to do, and this would be something that they want to do. As Deion Sanders said, I win games because I practice hard. The game is the bonus, but I practice every day. I win in practice. Therefore, I know I'm gonna win on Saturday. So, and I think a lot of these guys don't look at practice like that. They don't have that Kobe mentality, that Michael Jordan mentality, that LeBron mentality, I would even say, of putting in 100%, 110% in the practice world. And I think Jeff Saturday is going to bring that out of him. And a lot of people complained about, hey, this is the world we live in. It's not, that's not a white and black thing. That's a who you know thing. And they know Jeff Saturday. And Jeff Saturday, as you mentioned, Chris, he's been a consultant with the team. He's always been around the team. And I just think that you need a fresh voice. You don't need the same assistants that have been there delivering that message. You don't even need another coach who's going to come in with the same type of cadence in his voice and trying to tell you what to do. You need somebody fresh that's going to look at you guys in the face and say, you know what, you suck, but let me help you not suck.
Yeah.
And I think that the team is going to respect that. And we got to stop. I think us is we have to mention it, but everything is not a color thing. And I think that's one of the things that the media always tries to do. They make everything a black and white thing. In that situation, I don't think it was a black and white thing because it was white coaches on that staff that got looked over as well. I think it was simply we need something fresh. And I hope Jeff Saturday does a damn good job with the Colts. I respected him as a player. He was one of those guys that that Peyton Manning definitely respected because he was going to protect Peyton at all costs, on and off the field. And I think that's going to be a person that the team is going to learn to respect because he already has the respect of the owners. The hardest part is done.
So I agree with my dad there. He didn't want to coach. Irsay wasn't looking for a coach at this point. He was looking for a leader.
He's looking for a leader.
I don't care what you say. All I know is Jeff Saturday is 1-0 as a head coach, and Josh McDaniels has a losing record as a head coach. So do with that information as you will.
Look, Josh McDaniel, Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, we can go down the list. I mean, hell,
you can go all the way down the damn list.
Hell, hey, we look at the Cowboys. It's people right. Hold on, no. It's people right now.
I can disrespect the Cowboys.
No.
We didn't want to talk about that. It'll come out of my mouth.
It's not a disrespect to him, but I don't look at McCarthy as a leader. I don't.
Oh, they're horrible. Hey, let's be honest. The Cowboys have not had a real head coach since Jimmy freaking Johnson.
I won't go that far because Bill Parcells was a real dude.
Nah, Bill Parcells was antiquated, and he was willing to do what Jerry Jones wanted him to do.
Most people,
Jimmy Buck,
Sean Payton is gonna come in there and he gonna give you that Jimmy Johnson feel.
I hope so. That's what I've been saying all along. We need a Sean Payton because he's the only one that will tell Jerry Jones to shut the fuck up, sit down, take your Metamucil.
Now he might not go that far, but
he'll get close.
Hey, if Sean Payton
he might
goes
say
there,
it in Spanish.
Sean Payton goes there, you guys better win the Super Bowl in the first couple of years he's there because he ain't gonna last more than 2 or 3 years with Jerry.
No,
and probably that's about right. So I figure 2 or 3 Super Bowls, we'll be all right.
Jerry Jones is only gonna shut up if y'all winning. If you losing, trust me, he will be loud in Sean Payton's ear saying it's my way of the
Well, that's like anything, right? If Jerry Jones is going to give up control to anybody, then his expectation is going to be, you're right, he's going to be under a microscope. It's going to be huge because Jerry Jones is going to be chomping at the bit to take back control again.
Yeah. And Tony, I love you. You know what I say, you're the coolest dad in the media game right now, man. But I think it's more than pressure that got to McDaniels. He just can't coach.
He's a great offensive coordinator.
That's it. He's not a head coach. And I say this because this is the second stint. And the Raiders have severely underperformed.
Compared to where they were last year? This ain't the same team.
Last year, what they didn't they make it to the playoffs last year? Yeah, it's bad.
What the hell did he do to him?
It's bad, and that's another thing. Like when your quarterback is going to the podium and he's crying. Like, did y'all see that? Derek Carr was crying.
Yeah,
he was crying. Like whoever is delivering the message is not getting across to the whole team.
Yeah. By the way, Damian Hernandez is not Bill Coward. It's Bill Cowher.
And they weren't going to bring in somebody like that to be an interim coach.
No,
he wouldn't. No, that would be and I don't think he wants to be a coach, period. I think he's happy where he's at.
And that's a great point, Chris, because a lot of people, again, they made a fuss without looking at all of the facts. He's just that they have not decided if he's going to be that permanent head coach. He is there to fill in until they figure out the direction they want to go. And I don't even think he wants to be. As Jeff Saturday said, look, dude, I'm not coming in this with any expectations. If I do good, great. If I do bad, it just shows me that this ain't for me. But what I want to do is come in and give every bit of knowledge that I have to help these guys be successful. That's all you can ask from a guy. And the way that he handled himself in that press conference, I felt like Jeff's a real stand-up dude, man. And I wish him well because as I said before, we got to stop making everything a white and black thing. I feel like they always trying to make race wars. This is black people should have. You know what? Yeah, we should be more head coaches in the league black. I agree with that, but at the same time, this particular situation didn't call for that. It didn't call for that. This was simply going to somebody that you're familiar with, that you know is a great leader. Because I believe Jeff Saturday was one of the captains on that team.
Yep,
when he played. Yeah, so this is a dude who's already shown that he's a proven leader. Helped the Colts win a ring. Like, excuse my French, shut the F up and let that
I
man
ain't
do
gonna
his
lie,
job.
last week I got so tired of watching almost any of the sports shows because that's all they were talking about was the Colts and Saturday, and they were like you said, they were making it a black and white thing, and it's like this wasn't
not
about
that
black and white.
situation. This
Yeah, that
wasn't
stuff
about that.
Hey,
happens, but it wasn't in this
I'll
situation.
be honest with you. To be a successful head coach, you've got to have good coordinators around you, and then you have to trust your coordinators. And I think that's what number one. I think Jeff
The head
Saturday
coach
did
is a leader.
is he trusted their coordinators. But again, you
And
have to
said
have
that
good
too,
coordinators.
Jay, he said it. He said, "I won't be the one making the play call. I am here to advise
And empower.
and to empower. I'm not gonna be out here trying to run X's and O's. That's not my strength."
Because hey, look, you could be a freaking Bill Belichick, quote unquote. But as you can see, he doesn't have an offensive coordinator to save his life, and that's why they're 5-4.
But what's the number one quality you need in a head coach? Be a leader. That's what I mean. That's what a head coach really is. He's the leader of the team.
You have to be able to get grown men.
Well, a head coach has to be able to see the whole picture, whereas a coordinator, whether it be offensive, defensive, they see their defensive picture, they see their offensive picture. But you, as a head coach, have to be the guy that sees the whole picture and leads the team in that direction. So that, you're right. That's what it is.
And you got to have guys that want to follow you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But how do you do that? You do that by instilling the right culture.
You do that. Thank you, Jay. And that's what I was about to say. See, that's the difference. You know what the difference between managers and CEOs are? Managers manage. That's all a coordinator is. You're a person managing the team. But CEOs have the vision. They are the pioneers. They are the creators. They are the visionaries. They are the people that not only instill the policies and procedures, they instill the culture. One of the things about San Antonio, they have culture. One of the things about the Warriors right now, even through all of that drama that happened in the offseason with Draymond punching Jordan Poole and all that, that culture is still there. And that's what you need. You need to have culture, because when times get hard, times are not going to always be us holding the championship up at the end of the year. Times are not going to always be us having a winning season. What's the culture like? Can we be the same when things are not going as good? That's what winners do. Because you're not going to always be in a position where you got to win. But you have to establish habits. You have to establish.
Well, the culture, having the right culture is the one that allows you to get knocked down and then pick yourself back up, come back next week, and let's keep rolling.
What I'm going to do right now, like what I want to do for the Raiders, I'm going to go in there with an old school VCR. I'm going to pop in Rocky 5, and I'm going to play my favorite part when he told him it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can hit and get back and get up and keep moving. That's how winning is done, you know?
By the way, that wasn't Rocky 5. I appreciate it. That was actually Rocky Balboa.
That was Rocky
Balboa. I don't want to correct you because you were on such a good roll there.
It was Balboa, because Rocky 5 is when he fought Tommy Gunn. I'm a huge Rocky fan, by the way.
No. You just said Rocky 5 in that speech.
You're right. And I know when you corrected
Cliff Notes.
Hey, I stood corrected. It was Balboa. Oh, trust me, bro.
No, you watched the YouTube shorts and you forgot what short you watched.
Oh no, I watched the movie because he went against Antonio Tarver, sir.
They're coming out with another Creed.
I'm gonna be
I can't wait. Hey, and this one's not gonna have Rocky in it. It's gonna be Rocky's out the picture, so it's gonna be all him.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My favorite, it probably goes 1, 2, Balboa, probably 4, 3, then 5. I like when he fought Ivan Drago.
I like 5 because I thought it really showed Rocky's ability to be a trainer, which I thought Rocky 5 was the precursor to Creed Part 1.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
But to me, of course, the original one is just all time.
Oh, come on. You can never beat the first one. You can never beat the first one.
But I put Balboa up so high because it showed him following his own advice.
Yeah.
He was still able to move through loss. He lost his wife. He didn't have a close relationship with his kid. You know, he had a
Oh, you're
business.
talking about Balboa.
Yeah. You know, but it just showed
Because you had said
who
Rocky
he
5. I thought you
was.
were showing the other short.
No. Rocky 5 is my least favorite. Rocky 5 is my least favorite.
I don't know. I thought Rocky 5 introduced some. If we're talking now, we got into cinematic now, but I thought Rocky.
I'm sorry.
I thought
Rocky,
Rocky 5 showed the side of Rocky not only as the boxer, but then you can see the side of him as a manager. And I thought with Rocky 5, it really brought out what Mickey had taught him. And you can see all of that trying to be put into a guy like Tommy Gunn, because Tommy Gunn had no heart. He couldn't hear the message. And that's why he got his ass whooped at the end. I don't know. I thought Rocky 5 had its purpose, right? There's certain things that that they put into there.
No, I love all the Rocky movies. Don't get me wrong, but if I have to rate them, that's the ranking I'm going. I love them all, though. I love them all. Like anytime Rocky's on TV, I'm watching it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me too. I'll sit there and watch 1 through the end of the creation.
I'm watching it, dude. I even teared up at the end of Balboa when the crowd was chanting his name. You know, even though he didn't win the fight. This retired boxer just gave the heavyweight champion of the world a run for his damn, to the point where even the champ looked at him and said, "Damn,
you're a crazy dude."
He said, "Damn, I was just in there with a." Okay, I see why they. You know what I'm saying? I see. And
but I did like. What I liked about
Creed
Creed 2 was how they went to the desert. I loved it when they went to the desert. We went to that old school boxing. I love Creed 2. Creed 2 was fucking phenomenal.
And that's why I like Balboa. When he told him, he said, "Hey, this ain't about speed. This ain't about quickness. Hey, you lost that due to age. We just gonna make you strong as shit where every hit is a power shot."
And when they put their feet in the tire, I was like, "Oh, this game on."
Said, "Hey, he meant that."
He said, "You ain't got no calcium in your knees, so that's out."
Hey, we going back to that old school training, boy. Axe chopping and all that good stuff, boy.
I just like, my favorite character was always Polly. When Polly went there to Rocky 3, and he said, "Hey, this blow me and his sister standards."
Hey, you know what? I
like he said, Polly. You can't train him like one of them jungle fighters. He don't move like that.
Hey, right. Hey, but I love 3 though, because the only reason I like 3 is because now they shows you, okay, him and Apollo been enemies for so long, and even though they were enemies that respected each other, but they were enemies, and to see them come together to fight this dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna show you. He said, "Rocky, you know how to fight. I'm gonna show you how to box."
I was getting ready to say that too. Rocky tried to catch the chicken.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious, dude.
Hey, but if you remember,
I got to run the Rocky stairs, y'all. I ran the stairs in Philadelphia, dude. I still got that picture.
You know, no, you did. You had one of them oxygen things.
Oh no, trust me.
Little tube coming in.
Hey, Jay, I shocked myself. I still got the video. I ran. I didn't stop running. I was tired as hell when I got up to the top. And I was like, damn, he jogged through Philly and up these stairs. That's a strong move.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, you asked Jay to climb up them damn stairs. I hope you got a ham sandwich, because halfway through, we're going to have lunch.
Even when I got to the top, I did my little.
Did you do the Rocky dance? Did they have this? Was a statue there or no? I don't know.
No, so they've actually taken the statue down. It's there. It's just downstairs. It's on the lower level, because people were coming there and literally just crowding the area to take pictures in front of that statue. So I got a picture in front of the statue as well, dude. Like I said, I'm a huge Rockies fan, dude. Like,
man, one of these days I'm gonna make my ass down to Philadelphia and I'm gonna go check that out. I've always wanted to go to Philadelphia just for those reasons. I mean, there's a lot of things in
Philly is a great city, and it's beautiful architecture there.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're gonna see when you go to Philadelphia. It's the architecture.
I want to go down there and get a real freaking Philly cheese, Sam, off the freaking as she called it. I want to go get me a John.
Oh yeah, the Philly cheesesteak is they call everything a John in Philly.
Yeah.
Everything a John. It's a girl. You're gonna be talking to a girl, man. Boy, did you get that John number? You know what I'm saying? Everything is a John.
Yeah, the closest I ever got to Philadelphia is when I lived in Washington, D.C. And my parents flew into Philly, and then they drove a car from Philly to D.C. to come visit me.
Yeah.
Of course, then the car was stolen 2 days later out front of my house and wrecked. And so I don't know. So then they had to get another rental car and go back. But it's crazy.
Yeah, I've been blessed to be a traveler, man. Whether it was traveling with family or now travel, because I went to Philadelphia for work. So you get your 1 or 2 days where you can do some leisure. So what I said is I'm gonna take the big bus tour. I grabbed me a Starbucks coffee cup, filled it up with Hennessy so people could stay out of my business. And
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Now I know DC probably has changed a lot since 2002, which is when I lived there. But back in 2002, you treated a 12-year-old just like you treated an adult, because I guarantee you they got a gun strapped in there somewhere. Oh, they do. And the funny thing about it is they'll drive. The 12-year-olds would go steal cars, and they drive the cars around town until they wrecked it into a telephone pole. I kid you not. Hey, there was one night.
Like what they're doing now.
Yeah. Hey, there was one night. It was about 10 o'clock at night.
If you have a kid, you should watch your car.
I lived on Howard Road. Southeast DC, and I was getting ready to go lay it down. And you park your car in front of your house because you don't got no garage, so you park in front of the house there. And I heard this loud crash, and I was like, "Damn! Please don't let that be my car. Please don't let that be my car." And I opened up the little window. Nope, it was a neighbor's car. They ran into the telephone pole, and the little 12-year-olds got out of the car. They were running down the street, and the one stopped and looked at me. I said, "Keep on going, young buck. We all good here." I closed them curtains quick.
Oh, Jay is a fool, man. I'm sorry,
Hey.
our ASAP people. We done went from sports to all over. This one, you get everything when you watch this network. I just want you to know.
Hey, but we have a good time. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. So now Go Dirt is out for a period of time. They didn't say how long, but definitely out for a period. He's a pretty good part of that offense as well. How do you think Go Dirt being out, how is that going to affect Philly going forward and then into the playoffs, depending on when he comes back?
It's bullshit. I'm on my fantasy team.
Who was that? Who was that?
Go there.
I mean, seriously though, hey, that's a huge part of that team, that tight end spot. How's that going to affect him, or will it affect him?
It'll affect him some because he is a big part of that offense.
What happened to him?
He got hurt
in the Commanders game?
Yeah, in the Commanders game. I didn't catch the full skip.
It might have been when the guy almost ripped his neck off during that face mask they didn't call.
And then they didn't call
it. That was atrocious, dude. That was.
You got injured in the play,
like,
but yet
come
they
on,
don't call.
Man. Like, I'll be looking at the referees like, okay. And you wonder why people say, especially now since I've started betting on FanDuel, which I've become freaking addicted to it. But it's like, dude, this is why people say the game is fixed. It's like, there's no way in hell you missed that. I don't care what angle you looking at, dude. The dude, when he came off the ground, his helmet was over here. It's like, dude, you didn't. I'm through with the referees in the NFL.
He hurt his shoulder. He has a shoulder injury.
How long is he out for?
Multiple weeks.
It's going to be at least 3 or 4 games at minimum.
I don't think it'll hurt Philly that much. Because Philly has a problem deeper than the tight end. They can't stop the run. That's Philly's problem right now. I mean, we saw the Houston Texans come in and run all over Philly. And then you just saw the Commanders come in and run all over Philly.
And you're about to see the Colts come in and run all over Philly.
Yeah, and this might be Jonathan Taylor's coming out party for the season.
Actually, the Phillies are coming to the Colts, and they're going to run all over.
This might be Jonathan Taylor's coming out party for the season.
He had a good game last week.
I'm talking maybe he might have a 200-yard game against Philly.
I hope he has 200 yards. He has 200 yards.
No. I got to play Frankie this week, and Frankie's got Jamal Taylor. No, I hope he gets cremated. Don't take this the wrong way, Gonzo, but I hope he breaks a leg, a wrist, and I hope he sneezes himself so hard that he has concussionary problems.
Oh, no, it ain't going to happen. Jeff Saturday's going to get his second win as a Colts coach.
Wouldn't he make the Masters angry? I'm telling you, man.
Oh, dude, he would, because yesterday on Fox Sports, have you ever watched that new show? Like Speak
for Yourself, or yeah.
Well, now it's just called Speak, and it has
Joy,
Emmanuel Acho,
Joy Taylor, and all them. Yeah.
they're still making a mockery of the Colts and Jeff Saturday, even though he got a win. So if they beat the Eagles, they'll blow up a damn blood vessel.
Hey, look, all I care about is I hope that when Jamal Taylor has sex with this woman in the doggy style position, he gets turf toe.
The thoughts of Jay McLovin is not the thoughts of ASAP Sports Network. We just want you.
I hope he gets turf toe.
But you know what though? You know what though? The Eagles should be fine if they get back to their run game. I think they got out of that. I think that they were trying to rely on Jalen Hurts' arm. So now it makes me wonder: is it anything wrong with Miles Sanders? Does he have any injuries or anything that he's going through that they're not disclosing to the public? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, at Philadelphia Eagles, if you think you're gonna win off Jalen Hurts' arm, y'all are going nowhere fast.
Hey, did you also hear about the Buffalo Bills altering their practice schedule amid a rash of injuries? Or no, a rash of illnesses. What the hell they got going on down there in Buffalo?
Well, yeah, and Jokic is
Yeah, I'm about to say, I
tonight
just saw
with,
Jokic
the safety protocols.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to get locked. You're starting to see the COVID stuff kind of ramp back up a little bit.
That's just crazy.
I'm about to say crazy. COVID. What? Is that still a thing? I'm starting to just question so much in this world, but right now I feel like the NFL is open. I feel like Baltimore has stepped up as favorites. Kansas City is still one of those staples as one of the favorites to win out of the AFC. And if you look at the NFC, don't look now. If Tampa Bay wins again, that one game over 500 and on a 3-game winning streak,
49ers I think could be tough in the NFC as well.
I don't trust McCaffrey, man. I don't trust the health of that team. That's it. That's the only thing I question is the health of the 49ers. I don't question skill. I don't question talent. I don't question want or ability. I question health.
What I think might help with McCaffrey and Samuel is with them both being on that team, you don't have to rely on one of them as much as like when he was in Carolina and they were relying on him to do everything.
Yeah. And I agree with you from that aspect. But with McCaffrey, he's like Anthony Davis. It's like when you see him getting off the ground, you kind of holding your breath. You like, I hope he's okay.
So, hey, let me ask you this. Hey, not Baltimore, Cleveland Browns will be getting Deshaun back in 2 more games, and he's already practicing now back with the team. If they were able to bring him back, and it would be, let's see, we're in week 11, they bring him back in week 13, I believe it would be, either 13 or 14.
Week 13
can the Browns right the ship, or are the Browns just done for the season?
Well, let's look at the NFL standings, shall we? Let's look at the AFC and see where the Browns are at.
They're number 11 right now.
They're number 11 and they're third in their conference. That means that they would have to. And when is he supposed to come back? In January, right?
I believe it's week 14 he comes back in.
So they would have to pretty much win every game going forward.
Right. They would. I believe you're right. That's why I just think that's going to. Yeah, that's probably too hard for them to do that.
Yeah.
His first game back is against the Texans.
That's a game that he should win, but I'm talking about even before he gets back. They're going to have to win now.
I won't even talk about a game he would win. I just thought it was kind of funny that the NFL made his first game back against the Texans, against the team
that is kind of hilarious. Yeah, so they would have to beat Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and then he would come back in week 13 against Houston. And then it's Houston, Cincy, Baltimore, New Orleans, Washington, and then closing out with Pittsburgh.
They have 2 more games without him.
So they got to win these 2 games and hope that, and then you got to still, because I know Deshaun Watson is good, but he has to come in and learn them. And I'm sorry.
That's true. He does.
Practice is nothing like real games.
And not only does he have to learn them,
absolutely.
Not only does he have to learn them, you're talking about a dude that hasn't played in almost 2 years.
Correct. Because he missed 1 year due to injury.
So I mean,
that's crazy.
Let's just hope he's not getting any massages in Cleveland.
Hey, and if he does get him, just get him at the damn facility.
Not even at the facility. Take some contracts. Maybe you record it and let them know I'm not doing this for any freak purposes. This is for my freedom purposes. That anything that goes on in this room, you said I can do that.
Just say, hey, yo, coach, I need you to give me the massage. You just give me the massage, coach.
Just get an OnlyFans and just broadcast the massages live.
That's it.
Wow. Hey, when you start doing TikToks on your massages.
Hey, dude, like I said, in today's world, dude, I'm so happy. This is not the only reason I'm happy I'm married, but I'm happy that I don't have to go through this. Because like nowadays, if you're broke, females are, oh yeah, you know, that's fine. Whatever we do, we do. The moment you get money, they start to question on whether or not how did they feel after y'all got done doing what you're doing. Like, hey, you knew what it was. Like, you know, if I call you to my hotel room at 2-3 in the morning, it ain't to say prayers. I'm just saying. But I digress.
What a time to be alive, man.
Hey, what a time to be a celebrity.
Hey, what would it be like when the NFC East, which used to be called the NFC Least,
but now it's the NFC Beast,
and now they're the NFC. Thank you for taking my rhyme.
I
could have finished it on my damn own self, but the fact that you want to finish it, I love you more now. I'm just saying, but we're beasting, baby. Damn near every team got a shot at a wild card or a divisional spot. Well, more the wild card, but we all should be in the playoffs if everything goes the way it's still going.
Well, we can say that in your conference, nobody is under 500 right now.
Hey, that's the first time I've seen a record or a division like that, and especially NFC East. And I can't even remember how long. It's been a long time.
You know what's ironic? Nobody has a losing record in the NFC East or the AFC East.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Yeah, that's right weird. Now, you look at the AFC East. Of course, the Dolphins are winning that division at 7-3. The Jets and the Bills are tied in second place with 6-3, and the Patriots are 5-4. Also on a 2-game winning streak, I might add.
Don't say that, because then Frankie gonna come in here saying, "Yeah, say it with your chest, Rob. Say it with your chest."
Hey, you know Foxborough Frankie is never too far away when we talk.
Hey, listen, I say those things specifically to see him come in the comment. I literally make a comment like that, and then I count on my watch how long it takes before Frankie hits the comment button.
Hey, but you know what though? It's just a testament though to the coaching, especially like if you look at the Commanders.
Yeah,
they're getting momentum at the right time. I think Ron Rivera takes a lot of slack. But I think Ron Rivera is also one of those guys. He might not be an X's and O's guys, but he's a leader. And the team is now starting to play around him. They're going to be getting Chase Young back. You get him acclimated back in that defense. We saw what that defense did to the Eagles. Because if you look, Jalen Hurts didn't have a bad game. It was everybody else. I mean, the Commanders were hitting people, stripping the ball, getting face mask penalties not called. I mean, they were doing it all. And you bring it now with Chase Young back to that equation, it's going to be a battle in the NFC East. You still got the Cowboys right there, regardless of how you feel about McCarthy. The Cowboys are a team to not be dealt with. That defense is still some animals. Dak can get hot at any time. You got some great receivers. You might be getting OBJ, which would definitely.
That would be. If they get OBJ on a 1 or 2 year deal, I'm cool with that.
I think OBJ is coming to the Cowboys. I think it's just a matter of when Jerry is going to sign the contract.
Well, Jerry needs to get up on it because honestly, hey, I think a guy like OBJ comes in, he really takes away a lot of the pressure from a CD or a Gallup, and really, gets them more into the one-on-ones. And I think that's where Gallup will excel and CD will excel. And that's all of just having OBJ on the damn field.
Yeah. And then you look at the Giants. I mean, just a testament. I've heard several guys on this network talk about what Brian Daboll can do for them. And to see what he's doing for the Giants right now, to see the way that this team is rallied behind him, to see a Saquon Barkley who's had numerous health issues finally stay healthy throughout the season, and you see the production that he's given his team. Even Daniel Jones has made some strides as a quarterback and getting better. I mean, right now, the NFC East might be the best conference in football.
And then the freaking Cowboys got to
play not conference, Vikings. I'm sorry, division.
Oh, yeah.
But they might be the
Cowboys got to play the Vikings on Sunday, too. So, that's going to be.
And you know what? That's not going to be no. I mean, did you see the exciting end to the Vikings-Buffalo game? I mean, the Vikings are fighting right now. And
bro, they're
Jay, hey, Chris, you guys said it. I know you guys heard me say, hey, don't call us a Nostradamus now, or don't say, hey, we told you guys that the Vikings is going to win the NFC North, and the Vikings are looking exactly the way I thought they would look. And Justin Jefferson, the way he has stepped up big time. Jay, I'm watching you guys' show. By the way, congratulations on your 2-year anniversary for Unscripted. Frankie, I made sure that I followed the Twitter handle. I am now following Unscripted guys on Twitter. I want to be you guys' biggest supporter. But yeah, I was watching the show last night. Great show, by the way, guys. And you guys had the question of, is Justin Jefferson a superstar now? And I think he has stepped up. He has become a superstar. I mean, that catch, that he caught, that was probably the best catch I've seen in the NFL history.
Well, and taking into consideration, too, he's only been in the league 3 years. And he has an opportunity. He has an opportunity to hit 5,000 yards before the third season is even finished.
He could be the quickest to get to 5,000 yards as a receiver as well.
It's amazing, dude. I mean,
that catch,
and now don't get me wrong. Anytime somebody does a one-handed catch, they always got to compare it to OBJ. And what OBJ did was amazing. But I've never seen a guy
put the ball back here with one arm as he's going across the band.
Yeah, you know what? I can't, and you can't deny that was a great catch, one of the greatest catches we probably will ever see. But what Justin Jefferson did, he literally snatched it from the defender with one hand, and the guy had 2 hands on the ball,
and was able to hit the ground and the ball not move.
Amazing, dude, and he balled it in like it. I've never, I had, thank God, we got, evolution in technology where you're able to rewind live TV
and see how that actually happened.
I had to rewind that back. I didn't want to see
several times.
I wanted to see it in real time and to watch what he did, dude, and finish it. They finished it. They won that game against a Buffalo Bills team who everyone has said is the favorite to win it all.
Well, now they're sitting in third, so I don't know what they're going to. They're sitting in third freaking place.
To steal a line from Jay, what a time to be alive, man.
Man, hey, anytime the Buffalo Bills are sitting underneath the Jets, you got to take a double.
Jets. And you know what? They deserve it because that 1 week that they went against the Jets, the Bills was my only loss that I had on my tick. I said, you lost to the Jets. But people can't say that anymore because losing to the Jets is legit now.
Just hearing that just makes me what?
Hey, we are very far from the Vinny Testaverde days.
Man, hey, listen, Vinny done got 1 foot in the grave too, so that tells you how long it's been since he's been around.
Oh God!
No, Vinny Testaverde at one time was a
coach. We're far from the Eric Mangini days.
The Mangini day. Just saying a name like Mangini just tells you everything you need to know.
Oh my God!
Tells you everything you need
to know. The Jets are winning again, dude. I mean, the NFL, the landscape is changing, man. It's changing, and just think about the talent that's going to be in this year's draft, and at this postseason draft. It's going to be some talented guys in the NFL draft coming up.
And I'm curious to see just how far May will slide down because it's out of North Carolina and not a big name university, but his stats are big time stats. I wonder how far he slides down before somebody actually takes a chance on him. I hope he slides down to the Cowboys. Hey, we'll bring him in. Go ahead.
Well, now I think with this draft coming up, you can start to reevaluate some things. Like, because I'm telling you right now, if I'm the Cowboys and I'm Jerry Jones, if we don't do anything this year, I am seriously considering getting rid of Dak and Ezekiel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be mad at you for saying that either, man. That's pretty much at the point where I think I'm at as well. I think we definitely need to change at the quarterback position. I'm losing faith a lot of the times in him.
They overpaid for Dak.
Well, the thing was, these owners try to hold out because guess what? Baltimore is going to have to overpay for Lamar if they want him to stay.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to franchise tag him again. I think it's going to end up being like Kirk Cousins.
I think he's going to be a free agent next year.
No, they'll franchise tag him one more time.
Yeah, but then, so when you get franchise tag, explain that to the audience, Chris, because I know you know the ins and outs of the back end stuff. When you get franchise tag, that means no team can give him an offer.
Yeah, no team can give him an offer till the end of the season, and then he'd be a free agent.
So now you can franchise tag somebody twice.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And this is the education that you guys get here on ASAP. Our esteemed colleague Chris, our gracious host, educating us on how the NFL works.
And see, that's what Washington done to Kirk Cousins, and then he ended up leaving after that franchising tagging him the second time he left and got that big deal with the Vikings.
Yeah. Well, we don't call him Kirk Cousins anymore. That's 5 chains.
Hey, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but definitely, I got to tell you, man, when I look at this lineup of games that we got for Saturday, I have zero excitement for college football weekend.
I think the Tennessee-Georgia game kind of wore everybody out a little bit on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, well, I mean, because look, the only 2 games of significant value that I see there is USC versus UCLA.
Yeah.
That's 7 against 16. And then Utah versus Oregon. That's 10 versus 12. But, LSU versus, UAB. Nah, I'm good. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Maybe Ole Miss, Arkansas. There's a little bit of a flair there. But Tennessee, South Carolina. I mean, it's a rough week when you got Alabama versus Austin Peay. Austin Peay's out there around Fort Campbell in the Kentucky, Tennessee area.
Next week we get the big game. Next week, Michigan and Ohio State.
I did not see that on here. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game.
Now that will be an exciting week.
And I'm not gonna say I'm not into college football. I don't watch it as hard as you guys do. But I definitely was tuned into that Georgia-Tennessee game. And it's just what I thought already. Georgia's the best team in college football right now. They definitely have one of the better defenses. And to me, like I've always been mentioning, that tight end set that they have is second to none. And
you know how I know that me and Rob Scott are like almost shared the same brain, but he's smarter. I got like the shitty part of the brain. He got the best part of the brain. Is I can tell you right now, Rob Scott watches 3 things in life. I can't do the 3, so you just got to bear with me. Is the one thing he watches is wrestling, NBA, NFL.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Hey, you can throw some context, but like I saw Mayweather get a
baseball. Hey, this is what Rob's gonna do.
Well, you know what? Hey,
and then it's gonna transition. Watch it. Hold on. It's gonna transition from this.
And then eventually this.
Hey, all I know is, every time I've ever done a show with Rob Scott, I literally judge the quality of his show by the position of the hands and the phone and everything else by Rob Scott. I watch Rob Scott, and I know if the meter is this way or if it's all the way over here.
We got to talk about the stuff I know. I know NBA right now, and I know me some football, good old football, American football. Hey, but speaking of the NBA right now, we've seen some things. I know we're getting down to the time we're going to get up out of here. Right now, based off what you guys have seen in this early season, who's a front runner right now to win it all? Because we look at Golden State, a team who hasn't won any game on the road as of yet. We see what Luka's been doing, and we know he loves to play the Clippers. We saw what he did last night. I mean, gosh, wasn't that a great three that he hit to seal the deal? And then on the other side of the spectrum, we know that even though Milwaukee hasn't performed great, with them losing their last couple of games, it's been because Giannis and Drew Holiday hasn't been there. They're going to get all three of those guys back soon. They're going to get Chris, Drew, and Giannis back. We know what Milwaukee is capable of in the East. And honestly, the East after Milwaukee is wide open because Boston's not the same. Philly's not the same. Chicago's not the same. I mean, right now, to me, it's wide open in the NBA. If I had to pick a favorite out of the group right now, I would say Milwaukee. To me, just because I know what Giannis is capable of.
Yeah, I'd say probably Milwaukee, just because they've been able to keep a pretty good record with missing them three guys.
And their bench, like Bobby Portis, to me, he's elevated his game. Brook Lopez is starting to get back to old Brook, where he was a scorer. And his defense has gotten tremendously better.
Which I'm going to stick with the Warriors.
I always find it interesting when you look at the
East. I'm not going to give up on them yet.
Oh, no, I got the Warriors to win it all, but I say right now, Milwaukee is my favorite.
Milwaukee's looking the best.
Yeah. I got the Warriors.
I just find it interesting when I look at the NBA as a whole right now. You're right. The NBA as a whole right now is very, I don't want to say pathetic, but it's pathetic right now. Compared to recent years, this is a very down, pathetic year. When Chicago, Brooklyn, that were in the top 6 last year, are now outside in the spots 11 and 12. And then I flip over to the West, and you got Golden State sitting at the 11th spot. It just and I'm like, what the hell? And you got Portland at the top of the West, for crying out loud. It just tells me that the West is going through some kind of funk. I'm not going to give up, like you said, on Golden State, because this is still Steph Curry's team, and I think Curry's going to right the ship. They're going to get back into the playoffs at some level, and then, of course, once you get to the finals, if you get to that level, it's a whole other ball game. But I am going to stay with you guys and say Milwaukee still, in my opinion, probably is the best team to beat. Boston, hey, you got to give them props. Right now, they're a half game up over Milwaukee. But I think Milwaukee is still the team to ride with right now. And unless Golden State can figure out their issues, I don't know, Rob. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think, man, they're in a funk right now they just demoted Wiseman down to the damn G League. At what point are we now thinking in our heads, well, he's a healthy Wiseman, but now he's down in the damn G League? Are we starting to think maybe is Wiseman a bust? I mean, what are we thinking about Wiseman?
I wouldn't say he's a bust. Wiseman has to learn the NBA game, and I think with the injuries there, hasn't had time to play, so he's going to be able to get some tick in the G League, because you do have some great players in the G League. Maybe not NBA worthy, but it's definitely better than the YMCA. So
let me ask you this: he was taken with the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why are they picking this guy at number 2 when he's not even truly NBA ready? Is it just strictly on what they see as his potential to be?
Watch this, Jay. The Bulls took Patrick Williams at number 4. And he wasn't even a starter in college.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. What I mean by bust is Wiseman a bust at the number 2 spot when maybe he should have been, further down the draft?
I can't say he's a bust yet, but he's definitely in bust territory.
He got to be in bust territory.
He's in bust territory. And the reason I say that, because to me, I question Wiseman's I don't question his skill. I think he's a skilled big man. I question his motor, and I question his strength. And I don't think he's grown into his man body yet, because people are just throwing that kid around. And he's not the defender that everybody thought he was going to be.
See, I'm wondering if they aren't moving him to the G League right now to try to get a little bit of his confidence back. I think maybe his confidence has gotten shook here at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Because, like, Rob just said, kind of getting thrown around by men. So I wonder if they're sending him back down there to try to get a little bit of his confidence back, and then hoping that they can bring him back and get him in the groove.
Yeah, but I knew the Warriors were going to be in trouble when they let Otto Porter go, and then you let Gary Payton Jr. go. And Gary
Payton Jr. I really thought was
defender.
Huge. Yeah, that was huge for them to let go of Gary, especially with how well he plays defense. And you let him go. I was like, come on, man.
And now you send him to Portland, and Portland's been winning, and he hasn't even been there.
Where's Portland at right now? Say it with your chest.
They number one. But that's the point I'm making, Jay. He hasn't even played yet.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So now think about Portland they got help on the way. And I knew Portland was going to be better significantly getting Jeremy Grant. I knew it. I'm like, okay. Everybody think Portland's about to lay down and die. I said, no, you don't need CJ McCollum anymore because Anthony Simons has shown he can play the guard position.
Yeah.
Now you can play.
Damian Dollar over there thinking like, man, I'm glad I'm sticking it out with this Portland team.
Hey, well, you know what though? Dame Dollar just built like that, man. He built like the Giannis's and the Kobe's of the world. He don't want to go to nobody. He said, if we gonna form a super team, it's because y'all came to play with me. I'm not coming to play with you. I don't need your help. I want to beat you.
That's right.
And I respect that from him. I respect him. I respect you know how I feel about Giannis. Because I told everybody already, in the 90s, we were in the Jordan era. In the 90s, we were in the Jordan era. In the 2000s, early 2000s, we were in the Kobe era. Later 2000s, we were in the LeBron and Steph era. Right now, we in Giannis era, baby. This is the era of Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I really hope that they can keep that squad healthy as they get closer to the playoffs.
I think they will.
Very pivotal.
I think they will, and the reason I think they will is because Milwaukee is a very deep team, and we see, as the past has shown us, you have to have a deep team in order to win a championship. I think Milwaukee's deep. I think Golden State is still deep. They just haven't tapped into that potential yet because they have so many young guys. You're still trying to train Moody. You're still trying to trade my boy Kuminga. Poole is still trying to find his confidence, and honestly, this is not a popular decision. If I'm Golden State, I might bench Klay. I might start Jordan Poole and have Klay come off the bench.
Yeah, you may have a really long conversation with Klay about that, because I wonder what that could do to his confidence if he goes from starter to bench.
Klay is a confident guy, and I think Klay will understand if it's gonna better the team, especially too, you get Klay more reps with him coming off the bench, where he has the ultimate green light. It's kind of hard to give Klay that green light when he's missing shots and you got Steph Curry over there. You know what I mean? But if he's coming off the bench and you can still run Jordan Poole with that bench squad, I think you give Klay more shots and he will start to get that confidence back, because now you're giving Klay something to prove. He's going to have to prove that he's a starter. And I always say one of the scariest players in any league is a player with something to have to prove.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of people who have something to prove and injuries and things of that nature, Zion missed the other game last night against Memphis with that right foot contusion that he suffered against the Houston Rockets when he rolled his ankle off of Usman Garuba's foot. How long do you think Zion is going to be out for? I don't know too much about foot contusions, but
I wouldn't be surprised if he. I haven't looked at the injury report yet because I haven't started my betting as of yet. I've been a huge component of looking at injury reports now before, probably more than I've ever had. But honestly, I think he plays tonight. If he doesn't play tonight, he'll be playing by the end of the week. He looked like he was still up in spirits last night.
He's not playing tonight.
Yeah. Oh, good. So I can choose the Bulls to win. So I
just looked at the injury report a little bit earlier.
I haven't had a chance to, I came to work and I actually did some work today. So I think just you can kind of tell how it's going with a player based off their body language on the bench. He was smiling last night. He was cheering on his team. I still think the Pelicans are one of those teams that's going to be a scary team to play, especially postseason time, just because they kind of got everything. If you look at it, they just got to put everything together. They got a great young coach in Coach Willie Green. I think Zion has made tremendous strides in dropping that weight and getting himself in a better position to be an asset to his team as far as health-wise go, because the best ability is availability, and he's made himself available. So I think he'll be able to get over that foot injury, especially now with him dropping that weight. Is going to do nothing but help him get healthier quicker. So I think the Pelicans are just fine. He was smiling, laughing, having a good time on that bench. I just hate that we got robbed of the chance to see Zion go against Ja.
Yeah, me too. That's always a matchup that people want to see is can Ja go down the middle when Zion's waiting in the paint?
And not to mention, they were in the same draft class. So, one was one was two.
Yeah, you are exactly.
And a lot of people say now in hindsight with Zion going through those health problems, a lot of people are saying, well, maybe you should have took Ja Morant first, which I am not one of those people. I think the Pelicans made the right decision in choosing Zion as their number one pick. And we see when he's healthy and he's on the court, we see why. He's a hybrid big. There's nothing you can do with him. If you're bigger than him, he's going to outspeed you to the rim. If you're smaller than him, he's going to play bully ball. I mean, that guy is, and he's one of those guys, he's like Giannis. If he gets a consistent jumper, God have mercy on who's ever defended him.
That's just the biggest thing for Zion. The biggest thing for Zion is just simply staying healthy. If he can just stay healthy, then, clearly he is the better player because, like you said, for those reasons you said, the versatility and the hybridness of him makes him better than Ja. It just does. Size, speed, kills.
I think we're in for a hell of a ride with the NBA. I think it's going to get real exciting after All-Star break. And to me, as I tell people all the time, see, I watch basketball all the time, but for the casual fan, after the All-Star break, that's when the NBA season really starts. So, I'm excited. I think we're going to have a hell of an All-Star game, too, while we're at it, man. It's just so many great young players out right now in the NBA. I think the NBA is in great hands, especially now with it being about to be able to be transitioned out of LeBron's hands. I think the NBA, the guys that they have in the league right now is amazing. And when you look at the Giannis's and the Lukas of the world, it's like, whew, what's next? And not to mention, old small GOAT, as I like to call him, Steph Curry. He's never too far behind from any best player in the league conversation. I mean, we saw what he did the other night when that boy caught the Holy Ghost, as I like to say. He caught the Holy Ghost out there. And you can never count the Warriors out as long as they got the best shooter ever.
And can I just say, too, how proud I am that the Rockets are doing such a good job at tanking at 2-12. I'm serious. You guys are number one. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Keep doing what you do, and maybe, just maybe, we will get that lottery number one spot and bring Wembanyama, or however you say that guy's name, over here from France, and then we can tear it up.
You know what, man?
Tear it up. We're gonna tear it up. We're the croissant.
The Rockets need to put some veterans with those young guys, man. I think you got a good young core over there, Jay. They just got to start to put some veterans over there. You can't keep having a team full of young dudes and expect that these guys are gonna know how to win. I mean, a team like Memphis is 1 in a million.
Yeah,
that's 1 in a million.
Yeah,
like you need some type of vet, and even Memphis got Steven Adams there. He might not be the best player in the world, but he did play with the Oklahoma City Thunder when they were winning.
Yeah. Hey, all I know is, listen. When LeBron James calls you an alien, I need that guy at the number one spot. Let's go. Keep tanking. Matter of fact, don't even show up. Just start forfeiting games. They don't care. They'll understand.
But before we get up out of here, I just got a quick shameless plug, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in Friday evening, 6:00 Central Time, to the 6th episode of the Bullshit, baby. As you guys know, we got sponsors now, man. So shout out to Bench Mob, who hooked me up with some rubber bands and this beautiful Bench Mob hat. Yes, sir. So make sure y'all tune in for all the latest Bulls information, man. Shout out to my boy, Mikey.
up, man. That's what's up. Good. Hey, I know you guys got a lot of good things going down there. I'm just gonna throw my little 2 cents promo in there. Hey, hey, Unscripted started Thursday. You can find Unscripted on YouTube on our Unscripted Facebook, Twitter page, and also Unscripted on our YouTube page. So the Unscripted will now have its own Twitter, YouTube, and of course, still with all sports, all plays, stuff, and everything else. But now we're starting to branch.
And that's Unscripted with the big U. You better put some respect on that.
Don't forget, you can still find Unscripted on the Facebook page as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, if you forgot it's a big U, whenever you're honing in on your woman, just put that together to remind you.
Oh God, I love it.
Oh shit. All right. Got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh, it's scripted. Shit. Hold on.
My final thoughts, man. I'm just ready for some more good sports, man. I'm interested now to see what's gonna happen in the boxing world. I think I read somewhere now that Deontay Wilder is gonna be forced to fight Andy Ruiz, as I think I saw it, and the winner of that will be fighting Tyson Fury again, which I think Wilder's gonna win that fight. Do we really want to see a fourth fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? I want to see if they're going to unify the heavyweight title. So that's been my focus. I want to see
Fury and what's the guy's name? Usyk or whatever.
Alexander Usyk.
Is he the other one that has the title belt that they're trying to unify with?
Yeah. So I think Alexander Usyk has the WBF title. I think.
Okay.
He got all the titles that he won from Anthony Joshua.
So, so once Fury has a fight with that dude, when Fury wins, he'll be the undisputed heavyweight champ.
Yeah. So whoever wins between those two guys, if they ever fight, it'll be a fight to become the undisputed heavyweight champion.
Oh,
and I think the last undisputed champion we had, was it Lennox Lewis? Oh, did the Klitschko brothers ever become undisputed?
We had an undisputed champ, hadn't it?
I don't think the Klitschko brothers were undisputed. I think Lennox Lewis was the last undisputed heavyweight champion.
I'm pretty sure Lewis was the last undisputed.
So I'm interested to see that, man, just because, boxing is kind of getting some of its allure back. I know I watched the Mayweather fight, even though it was a damn exhibition, and he know damn well he shouldn't be.
UFC's been crazy.
Yeah, I saw Izzy lost. Izzy lost. Now a lot of people are saying that the ref shouldn't have stopped the fight, but he looked like he was out.
Oh, they needed to stop it, dude. It was a good stop.
You know what? People say that until somebody dies.
Yeah.
I think they need great stoppage. Yeah, he came out fighting strong too.
Yeah, he was winning the fight.
It's a testament to never give up, man. Never give up. But yeah, right now, Combat World has been great. WWE has been great. I've been keeping up with that as well. Definitely interested to see what's about to happen with Roman Reigns' story, because now we're getting ready to go into the new year. We're getting ready to go into the Royal Rumble soon. Cody Rhodes is supposed to be making his return, and maybe it's still rumored heavy that The Rock is supposed to be coming back to fight Roman Reigns. So I'm just interested. Right now, it's a lot of interesting things going on in the sports world, especially also in the NBA and NFL as well, as we get ready for NFL playoff and Thanksgiving NFL as well. So I'm ready to eat my turkey and watch some football. So those are my final thoughts, man. Just watching sports, baby. Dad, they were shooting at the River Oaks Mall. They always shooting somewhere, man. Oh, and my thoughts and prayers, speaking of shooting, are with the players and anybody affected in Virginia. With what happened, man. Rest in peace. My condolences to those 3 football players. And then I heard there was some students that got wounded as well. So my thoughts and prayers are with them for a speedy recovery. But again, this is one of the messages we always put out there. Going through mental health issues, seek help, and we got to come to some type of resolution where we get better as a people, because gun violence ain't the way to go, man. If you got problems with people, man, let's get back to the old school ways. Throw your damn hands up. We fight, we shake hands afterwards, and then we go about our business. That's my final thoughts.
We go drink a beer and talk.
Absolutely.
Got anything, Jake?
Yeah, no, like I said, other than checking us out on the Twitter and YouTube for Unscripted, man, that was really about it. But again, I do want to reinforce what Rob Scott's talking about. I didn't even realize there was another shoot that said, what did Damien say? Prayers to everyone involved at River Oaks.
Yeah,
mall
that's a mall.
shooting.
That's a mall out here in the suburbs of Chicago. So
Yeah.
my thoughts and prayers are with them as well, man. Right now, Chicago just needs some prayer. Right now, it's a little hectic out here, but you know we got to keep on going.
We
baby. We got to keep on going.
Throw our hands up for the people that were involved in that shooting as well, as much as the University of Virginia shooting and Uvalde and Parkland and God knows all the other ones. St. Louis had one not long ago, shooting out that direction. So Colorado, I mean, everywhere you look, it just seems like something's going on somewhere, somehow. And at some point, we as I'm gonna keep advocating for people, man, across the United States. If you see people that are doing things that don't seem normal, don't be afraid to let somebody know about it, because when you don't let somebody know about it and then that person is involved in something like this or like that, then you're just as much a part of it as they are. So just get involved, man. If you see something, say something. That's the biggest thing. See it, say it, man, because you don't know whose life you might be saving.
Nope, I agree with that. Also, we'll be live here in just a few minutes with Easy Money, a sports betting show. So come check that out. I don't know, give me about 15, 20. All right, in this, I'll get everything going. But appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube for the All Sports All Plays Network. Also follow them on Facebook, Twitch, all that. Follow us on there. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.